Hello, Steve89. Well, there was an article somewhere with an interview between director Tim Miller and Steve Weintraub, don't know who he is, and they were talking about Terminator Dark Fate. Now, Terminator Dark Fate was released with a bunch of sort of advertising that sort of was attacking its fans and very much taking a feminist stance and attacking men. And it didn't do too well. A lot of criticism, a lot of people didn't embrace it. The film didn't make a lot of money. It made 261 million, 198 million in the worldwide, and 62 million in the domestic American market. So it was like 260 million all up. And it was $185 million budget. So obviously it didn't really make any money for the studio, because if you understand how movies work, there's advertising on top of the budget, and then the cinemas take a cut. And there's a whole lot of things that sort of get in between the money getting to the studio, and a film has to make three or four times the amount it costs to actually make money, and that's an issue all on its own. But the main issue of the article, or main issue of the video, and I won't say whose video it was on YouTube, but they were basically saying, oh, Tim Miller admits he was wrong, so therefore all the things he was promoting and talking about, all these feminist things, were wrong, and he's accepted that, the patriarchy and the patriarchal norm is what, he should have embraced, blah, blah, blah. He's not saying that at all. All he said in the article, he acknowledged that the film bombed, and he said, I went in with the rock-hard nerd belief that if I made a good movie that I wanted to see, it would do well. And I was wrong. It was one of those effing eureka moments in a bad way because the movie tanked. So he's not saying there's anything wrong with the philosophy or the gender politics or any of that of the film, because I saw the film on TV a year or so ago, and it was really good. It had a couple of little issues. Besides from that, it was really good. So he did make a good film. It was an enjoyable film, but it tanked because of the political messaging, and that was the issue, how it was marketed, not necessarily the film itself or the issues. Had they not focused on that and just had that in there, people would have just had it wash over them and think about it a little bit and then just enjoy the film and probably not really get too bothered by it. Maybe a few people would be bothered, a few people might be inspired, but the issue was the marketing and leading with that controversy, or making that controversy to get publicity, which is always negative publicity, and a section of fandom and these sort of tribal culture in America will turn on the film and attack it and boycott it. So it's not a smart move to market a film that way. So that was the mistake. So people now latching onto him saying he was wrong or he made a mistake, implying that he made a mistake about his ideology or whatever. That's not what happened. And the other issue that it really bothers me, I understand how films work. Like I said, I understand film has to make so much more than the budget in order to get the money back, because they only get a certain percent of the actual dollars. So if a film costs 250 million, it makes 500 million, they're probably just going to break even. But what bothers me is that we all think in terms of the studio. We are so brainwashed by the corporate world and mentality and the capitalist sort of mentality, that we think about the studio's bottom line and the studio's perspective, not our perspective, the fans. Who cares if a film makes $500 million or $300 million? $300 million. That means millions of people went to see it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a hit. People went to see it. And the fact that it didn't make enough money to make money back for the studio shouldn't be how we categorize that film as a good or bad film. It drives me mad, because, you can have the exact same film. Say you had a film cost $10 million, a film that costs $300 million. They both make $300 million. One is considered a flop because it didn't make money back for the studio. One is a giant hit. I mean, what is the defining, factor here? Is it how many people went to see it, or how much money the studio got? Obviously, the studio is thinking of the profit, but why do we devalue and dismiss these films that millions of people go to see, and a lot of that's word of mouth and good reviews and stuff? Why do we dismiss them because they don't make money for the studio? I mean, why are we sort of promoting the studio's values and so forth. It drives me a little bit mad. I see it all the time, and it really does annoy me because I've seen so many films that a lot of people went to see and were good be trash because they cost a lot of money and didn't make enough money for the studio. So, and that's people's deciding factor. Whether that's because they have no integrity, they have no center, they can't actually make a decision and actually decide if they like a film and be able to categorize it or critique it and say it's good or bad. So they just go with the money side because, well, that's tangible. You can say it made $500 million, therefore it's a good film. So it drives me a little bit nuts. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. That's always bothered me. And I just thought I'm going to make a video just about that, just talking about how we should be focusing on how many people see a film, not how much money it makes for the studio. Because, like I said, that varies depending on the budget and also the promotional budget. Because that's a scary thing. There have been many films made on $10 or $20 million, and then they had like a $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $100 million promotional budget. They spent more money on promoting the film than actually making the film. So there's just some insanity in the whole movie money, movie math. So I think we should just focus on how many people see a film and whether people actually enjoy it or not. But that's me being naive and not being a capitalistic corporate shill or whatever. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Did I already say that? I don't know. I'm going to go. Bye.